First thing, they're eating a giant school of fish. Next thing you know, they're biting onto you just because you're near the school of fish. Hello everyone, Ranks is here, and welcome back to No Man's Sky, where we have new discoveries every day, but not in this system, because this system is fully explored. We cataloged all of it from Crystallis to 01, Bioenergy, a lot of good ones, even the one that had already been previously discovered with its illuminated fauna, and we've recently begun hitting all of the creatures in a planet as well, which is, I gotta say, it feels good. It feels a little more manageable than it has been in the past, and I'm not sure if that was on purpose from the, the Atlas or what, but in any event, I'd say we are ready for our next warp. Now, we do have our fleet out on expedition, but I think at this point we'll be looking for some undiscovered systems. It looks like Tolianya in the Tisfian instability is our next stop. Let's go. Oh my, with the darkened nebulas. Look, we've already got ships on approach. Oh, wow. They saw us warp in, they go, we want to trade with those ships there. Oh, fun times. And we are, yes, discovered a brand new system, and we haven't even gone that far, really, from the Thrinxian conflagration, and it sort of shows you that that's how it goes, right? There is always another system to explore, and systematically we shall explore them. I don't see any good purchases to really be made on our ship, so I think what we should do... Where are we at? 42,000 nanites. It is a yellow star system, so I think we'll bid adieu to our unnamed exploration craft and head on back to the Nightmare in Space. I would like to switch over to our exotic at some point, but we need to stay the course and work on the upgrades for this one on yellow star systems, and then handle our exploration craft otherwise. Alright, well, let's take a look at the planet we are closest to, as that is how we will name the system. An endless morass with salvageable scrap and large oceans. Oh. Okay. Interesting land structure. This looks to be more like... yeah. I think we should start with the sunset zone here. And sort of... oh my. How pink and lavender of it all. Sort of swept terrain, but still kind of rocky. Are those like... they're like trees, but giant plants. Okay. We are sort of on the sunset side of things. It appears swampy, rocky. These tree-like plants are sort of interesting. Kind of thick clouds on this planet. You know what? Let's look for a section that's maybe not at sunset. Do we check out the ocean first? I feel like we're being kind of led in that direction. So let's check out this little grouping of islands here in the middle of the ocean. Wow, a rather large island kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. A lot more rock than swamp over here. couple of large islands. Look at that sky. What color would you call that? If I didn't know any better, I'd say that this was kind of sunset as well. It has a certain feel to it, doesn't it? Yeah, vapor really captures that. But you know what? It might just be that we want to go with the default filter on this one. I want to say it's like a lavender sky, but at the same time... I don't know. It's got like a gray to it. Misty sort of feeling. Ah, here we go. Let's stop on this island that actually has some flora on it. Yeah, and look, there's a lot of like shrubs, ferns. These trees are very interesting though. Is that like a large stamen on top of it? Toliana system has stinging puddles for weather. Okay. Looks like we have some fun little sections here. I'm a big fan of these. I wish you could scan them. I mean, these can't be natural occurrences, right? These have to be made by something? Some sentient species? Maybe a species on the verge of sentience? I don't know. Alright, let's learn what we can about these giant tree-like flowering. Substantial sunlight, biseasonal. Oh, wait, we have a creature over here. Is it in the water? I believe it is in the water. No, it is not. It is right here near the beach. Watchful, collects seeds. Probably uses its long snout to get into the mud where the seeds reside. Feeds off of liquid ammonia. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. It's some sort of like... I don't even know what. This is an interesting little creature here, just kind of pushing its way through the dirt. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Oh, look, we've come upon this habitat here on this island. It says they feed off of the tall grasses. I guess that would explain why they're on this island as opposed to one of the other rocky islands nearby. Oh, do it again, please. Yeah. So it's like a reptilian mole, kind of? Look at those claws. Maybe it's not really a reptile. It could be plated like an armadillo. It says it has an extra hidden tongue, but that's all we know about it. We have another creature over here on the coast. Wise, indeterminate. Looks like they have an ancestor, but different species over here, with bioluminescent blood. So this little island is quite a lot of biodiversity. We've already found 3 rare creatures on this island. Pretty good stop. Let's scan some more of these plants. Nutrient source, fermented corpses. Well, of course, it's kind of a swamp. planet being identified as an endless morass, but yet it has these large oceans. I'm willing to accept these terms and say that we need to go on the ocean and do some analysis here. Look, we even have avian life, so this area is likely to have... Intelligent. This area is likely to have a lot of maybe aquatic life as well. The sun is going down. Toxic protection. Wait a second. How have I not noticed this is a toxic planet? I thought... Stinging puddles. I thought temperate planets were swamps, but it's almost like any planet could be a swamp. And look at how blue the water gets now here at the sunset. Like, that's really blue. Although I kind of feel like it's like a, what is that, like an ultramarine? Midnight? It's not quite like a midnight blue. It's getting there though. It will be by the time the sun goes down. It almost changes to violet over there. It's not that. It's not that. We'll find it. I'm gonna force myself to keep using these hotkeys until they are second nature. I swear to you. It is my promise I make to you. Alright, fairly shallow area here next to this island. We might have to break away from it a little bit to find some deep water. But the water is fairly clear. Not a lot of particulate in it. It does have these complex coral structures here. I'd like to learn a little bit about these stone structures here. Petrifaction formation process. I saw a life form though. Let's not get distracted. Those rocks are fairly common. The life forms, you never know what you're gonna find with the life form. Eats marine snow. Okay, and this is a school. This is a giant school of fish. Oh yeah, they're swimming all around us. Oh, that's... Oh, yeah. I told you I was going to be a, you know, just a huge amount of biodiversity on the island. It meant there was likely going to be a large amount directly off the island. And this... Ooh. Got a vent. The, yeah. Sheer amount of life on this planet, given its toxicity. It's a low level of toxicity, though. And it seems like there really aren't many storms to speak of. But it's possible. It's possible. We have not been on the planet long enough to really make that determination yet. But I think it's safe to say we can venture away from the island a little more. Look at this. You would think the nighttime sky would be a lot darker, given the darkness of the nebula, but oh, I think we're still kind of in the twilight phase, yeah. That twilight zone, if you will. Oh, look at this sandbar here. It's just kind of out here in the middle of the ocean where you can stand up. Still fairly close to the island chain. let's give it a scan for maybe a drowned starship. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see what we have. Some sort of hauler. C25 plus 2. I don't know. It is worth 4.5 million units, but being a C class means likely the modules that we would get from it would be pretty low. Let's see if we can maybe get ourselves another one. For some reason my hotkey is only pulling up, yeah, the actual list of exocraft. How interesting. Drowned starship detected. Back the way we came. You don't say. Let's see, how many sea creatures are still running around on this planet? 1? And an extinct creature. Ooh, a couple of underground as well. Nope, two underwater actually. I think as long as there are underwater creatures undiscovered, we should push ourselves, yep, to look for them, even if it frightens us. Yeah, I was worried about that. These seem to be a common ocean predator. And of course, we're catching all of the plant life, and oh, they're right next to us. Oh my gosh. Shoots neurotoxic spines. Okay, that frightened me now, and I know it's just a vent. Let's... Neurotoxic spines. See, but you can see they're definitely eating the fish, and I wonder if the the catalog tooltip would say, oh, they feast upon the downward drift of plankton, as we see them just nomming on schools of fish. Like, I don't think that's the case. That was pretty good, though. Did we really get to our oxygen that fast? Micro bubble pressurizer. That thing gets emptied pretty quickly. I believe we found the rare underwater creature, which means now we just have a common one. Doesn't seem that common to me. Oh, they're chasing us. No, I'm not okay with this. They're everywhere. Oh my gosh. It's a feeding frenzy. Get in our sub. Let's go. Oh, they got riled up over that school of fish. I don't want any part of that kind of behavior. No, no, no. And I know everybody's gonna say they won't bother you. I don't believe it. I think they would. First thing, they're eating a giant school of fish. Next thing you know, they're biting onto you just because you're near the school of fish. That's how it goes. When they get worked into a frenzy like that, oh, you never know. You never know. I think we'll fly to the next one. The next sunken starship. It says drowned. Drowned starship. But did it really? I mean, I guess technically, if it has like intakes, and the intakes filled with water, and they needed to pull oxygen for like some form of fuel mixture for the engines, maybe, you know, if the oxygen was displaced by water, you could use that modifier. But look at the clouds on this planet. Like the constant thick gray clouds. Let's see what we got right down here, shall we? Ooh. C class 25 plus 2. A lot of that going around. That's, again, I've got to draw the line somewhere, and that's exactly where I'm going to draw the line. If it's C class, even if the value is there, if it's a C class, I can't do it. Question remains, will we find the final aquatic creature? I don't know. We really even haven't done any land analysis here yet. We need to leave the oceans and go see and go check out the land and the caves. We haven't done any of that analysis yet. And yet I am determined to find this final fish or crab. Or whatever it is. But then again, it would be nice to see the ocean during the day, so... This looks nice, though. This sort of blue. It's just a vast blueness. There we go. Just pass a little bit of time and we get this gorgeous, like, sun-filled area here. Yeah, and look at how much it changes all this. I mean, this ocean is fairly neat. It's rocky with lots of coral. It's pretty clear. We have no sort of storms really to speak of. It's interesting as far as toxic planets go, because again, it's technically a giant morass. And look at the life forms here. I mean, this place is just exploding with life. It's everywhere. Alluring specimen. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's not that alluring. The sun adds a very neat dynamic to the ocean floor, which is largely... it's kind of rocky and sandy, a little bit of both. Not incredibly deep here in this area. We're gonna need to put oxygen in that that micro bubble pressurizer here pretty soon. It's starting to taste like salt water a little bit. It does look like the ocean's getting a little deeper out here, though. I'm still... Look at the giant schools of fish! This is amazing! I can't... I'm trying to think if I've seen an ocean like this before. Just massive schools of fish. And we still haven't even seen the final aquatic life form, although now I'm starting to really get worried. Man. Can you imagine, though, if there was, like, mega aquatic life forms? Like the giant floating reefbacks? Like that sort of thing? I would almost expect the way these islands and their surrounding areas are to be, like, volcanic. Oh, look at these creatures. Whoa. And those are not aquatic creatures, but wow, wow, wow. They nest in the humid swamps of this planet without a centralized nervous system. These are creatures of pure instinct, pure reaction. Pugnium-infused teeth allow them to consume and digest gravitino balls, crunching through their outer shells in an explosion of light. Wow! That's pretty darn cool. What the heck are they doing, like diving down into the water? Keep hearing these odd noises. And we'll head on over to the land portion. I really like these oceans here. You wouldn't even know this is a toxic planet. It must be a recent bit of toxicity. It says stinging puddles is the weather, and we've yet to see any kind of a storm, so it's almost as if there's just a slight acidity to everything, maybe? Not even a severe amount, but like just enough. Okay, the ocean continues a good bit on this side of the planet. Let's head for the center of this landmass. Again, the terrain is very rolling. Not very steep. There are high and low points. Seems to be not as much biodiversity in the flora as far as the trees go, but then when you go to the ferns and the mushrooms, yeah, there's quite a few actually. The catalog says there are quite a few, or not quite a few, I'm sorry, 2 different underground species, underground dwelling species. And of that, I'm very curious if that means they have extensive cave systems here or not. Those are the giant insects again. Did we not... Are we not very close to a salvage container, potentially? You know what? I think we'll just hook that one, Let's take the pilgrim over there, shall we? Keep our eye open for any major cave events. No, I don't think that kind of air is the sort of air we celebrate with a photo. But I would very much like to catch the sun over the terrain. I don't know, there's something about this planet. It might be the coloration. It's kind of getting me. Alright. An unusual compressor. What could we use to identify a large cave with? Boom. Works for me. Subterranean relics? You bet. Oh my. But there's like almost no flora to speak of down here. I mean, no, I take that back. This is some sort of, yeah, fungal growth. Feeds off the moisture that settles down in here. A lot of stalagmites, virtually no stalactites, at least not in this section of the cave. Huh. And these, like, fungal polyp colonies. If there are life forms down in these caves, that would likely be what they would feed off of. Oh, there is some bulb, some marrow bulb, actually. Let's give ourselves an exit strategy here, as it appears that we found a life form that we've yet to scan. Oh yeah, let's go. Look at that. A differently evolved type of species from the other one we saw. This one with horns and longer legs. Probably has the need for speed out here on the mainland. Makes me wonder if there would be a predator. We might just have to call it there at that. So I feel like we've given a lot of time to this planet as is. Oh look, here are some of the mushrooms you would expect on a planet like this. Gosh, it's so difficult to know when to leave. When a planet will stop giving you amazing discoveries. Ancient data structure. How about another subterranean relic? Look at that one though. This one seems more colorful than the one we saw previously. Well, that's just the way it goes. Fortunately, you're not able to find it all on every single planet, but that is where we're going to need to wrap things up. Because there is always another planet, and that other planet is calling to us. But I dare say we need to go ahead and name this one really quick. Look how violet everything gets at the sunset. Like, that's just, I don't know why that's so amazing. A lot of different colors and things going on here. So if we just make a quick trip out of the atmosphere, we can do something that we had not done yet, which is we can look to see which section we're in. We're in the Tisfian instability. And that means we'll head back down. And prepare to name this planet and this system. And oh, and look at that. Lots of ocean, actually. Not as much land on this planet as we originally thought. At all. Little tiny islands out in the middle of nowhere. (0033). That means we are officially in the system known as Fire 333. And we'll call this one Amazing Swamps. No, because I don't know if there's more than one, right? Water Wonders. This planet will be the Bagana. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you've had a good time watching, because as always, I've had a good time playing. Until next time, take care.